Good morning. It's Sunday, February 23rd, and today I'm going to talk about our president, Donald Trump, again, because he has, as usual, taken a stand that most of the world cannot believe. He has made it perfectly clear that the days of the U.S. isolating Russia are over, and he has gone ahead and suggested that the Ukraine was to blame for the invasion that started that war. And for more than a decade, the West has faced off against the East. And now that Trump is back in office, America is given the impression that it will be switching sides, and Russia will become a friendly nation all of a sudden. Even as American and Russian negotiators sat down Tuesday for the first time in Moscow, the full-fledged invasion of Ukraine is over 3 years old, and Trump has signaled that he is willing to abandon America's allies and make common cause with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. As far as Trump is concerned, Russia is not responsible for the war that devastated the Ukraine. Instead, he has chosen to take a position that Ukraine is to blame for Russia's invasion of it. If you listen to Trump talk to reporters about the conflict, you would hear a version of reality that would be unrecognizable in any place in the world. And certainly, Ukraine would never have been heard this kind of story from any other American president of either party. Mr. Trump is saying Ukrainian leaders were at fault for the war by not agreeing to surrender the territory, and therefore he suggested they do not deserve a seat at the table for peace talks. The peace talks that he has initiated with Mr. Putin. He said to the Ukrainian leaders, "You never should have started it," referring to those who could have possibly made a deal. So in talking at his particular Mar-a-Lago estate, his castle in Florida, he blamed the leadership of Ukraine that allowed the war to go on, a war that never should have happened, according to Trump. Mr. Trump said not one word against Mr. Putin and not one word against Russia, which first invaded the Ukraine in 2014 and continued to wage a low-intensity war against it for 4 years during Trump's first term. And then in 2022, he had invaded the whole country. So Trump is in the middle of executing one of the most jaw-dropping pivots in American foreign policy in generations. It's been a 180-degree turn that will force friends and foes to recalibrate many fundamental issues. Ever since the end of World War II, a long parade of American presidents saw the Soviet Union and its successor Russia as a country to be wary of. Now Mr. Trump gives every appearance of viewing it as a friend and a collaborator. And he's prepared to go forward with many joint ventures in the future. He has made it clear that the United States is finished with the practice of isolating Mr. Putin for his unprovoked aggression against his weaker neighbor, the Ukraine, and slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people along the way. So Trump has always had a fondness for Mr. Putin, and he's showing it now. And Putin is going to take advantage of that situation to the nth degree. Putin is a lot smarter than our President Trump. And so when Trump kowtows to Putin and agrees that everything that Putin is doing is wonderful, the rest of the world has to watch out, because Trump is going to lead Russia to its evil deeds. And Putin is no dummy. He will take advantage of every opportunity to screw his neighbors and have President Trump gloriously defend his position. So I ask you out there, can we afford to make it through 4 more years of Donald Trump when he makes friends with the dictators of the world, and his view is so far from the other side that it's devastating to people in this country? And I think that in the long run, the U.S. is going to pay supreme penalties for having elected this man to a second term. So I leave you with that this morning. A misguided president in charge of our great nation. Think about that. Think about his view of the world. Compare it to what the United States used to be like, and see if you can remain happy for the next 3 3/4 years. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.